the whole Busta Rhymes collaboration. Like, he should have reached out to me. Like, you don't do no video with my daughter half naked.
The entire Buster Rhymes coordinated effort, like he ought to have connected with me, like you realize you don't do no video with my girl half exposed today. We have an embarrassment that has surprised the business it includes. In all honesty, 50 penny benzo bust of rhymes and rising star. Demure Leray, we should plunge profound into the stunning charges and searing trades that have unfurled between these raw heavyweights and how 50 penny has sent areas of strength for a two Benzino for coming out. It his dear companion Busta Rhymes 50 penny checks Benzino, in the realm of rap quarrels and contentions, are no outsiders except for when Benzino, a previous rapper and magazine proprietor, took to Instagram to make a few stunning claims against the unbelievable Busta Rhymes, the EREAP people. Group was left staggered. Benzo guaranteed that Busta Rhymes had crossed a line in his music video for Extravagance Life by highlighting his girl Coi Leray in a profoundly unseemly and half-stripped way. This alleged on sent shockwaves through the business as Coi Leray is a rising star by her own doing while Busta Rhymes remains fairly subtle, his companion and individual rapper. 50 penny, known for his no-nonsense way to deal with online quarrels, couldn't avoid getting involved, perceiving the earnestness of the allegations against Busta. 50 penny chose to move forward and guard his pal, taking to his own Instagram page. 50 penny shared a screen capture of Benzo's video and burned through no time in ridiculing him on NIA's scorching subtitle. 50 penny called Benzino a sucker for utilizing his girl to go after Busta Rhymes. He didn't keep down telling Benzino that he ought to be embarrassed about himself and advance notice. Penny added a giggling face and rodent emoticons suggesting that Benzino was a narc and a joke. The help for Busta Rhymes was obvious, as 50 penny even labeled him in the post, clarifying where his devotion lay with the 50 penny entering the conflict. The fight took on an entirely different aspect. The ERAP people group looked as these two heavyweight characters conflicted, each shielding their side. The pressure heightened, and fans anticipated the following move in this high-stakes fight. Benzino never need to withdraw from a battle, quickly answered 50 penny's joke with a red-hot video of his own. In his energetic buttle, he didn't keep down calling 50 penny a jokester and a harasser. Benzino blamed 50 penny for utilizing his foundation to scare and disparage others, asserting that he was just a desirous skeptic. Yet Benzino didn't stop there. He proceeded to provoke 50 penny to an actual squabble, trying him to step into the ring and settle their disparities like men. Benzo's certainty was obvious as he flaunted about his riches and the quantity of ladies he had, intimating that he had outperformed 50 penny in each part of life, not halting at individual assaults. Benzino likewise focused on 50 penny's notoriety as a dad and companion. He blamed 50 penny for being a terrible dad, referring to the stress connection between 50 penny and his child horses. Benzo likewise asserted that 50 penny had deceived his previous partners like youthful Buck and Oid Banks, portraying a man who couldn't be believed. The ERAP people group watched in wonderment as Benzino valiantly confronted 50 penny, declining to be threatened by his web-based tricks. The test he gave stoked the shoot, leaving fans contemplating whether 50 penny would acknowledge, and in the event that this fight would raise past virtual entertainment as strains kept on rising, the center moved back to the first debate encompassing Busta Rhymes and Coi, while Benzino and 50 penny took part in a conflict of words. Coi Leray stayed quiet, leaving fans inquisitive about her viewpoint on the circumstance. Benzino impact Busta Rhymes' bashful Leray video. In the event that you're thinking about what occurred among Benzino and Busta Rhymes, everything began with a music video that pushed the limits of discussion. In September 2023, Busta Rhymes delivered the outwardly dazzling and provocative music video for his track Extravagance Life, yet much to his dismay that this video would light a blazing quarrel among him. Benzino in the video, Busta Rhymes is seen displaying his sumptuous way of life encompassed by gorgeous ladies in excessive settings, yet it was one specific scene that grabbed the eye of Benzino and started his shock. Coi Leray Benzo's girl made an appearance in the video wearing a noteworthy outfit and participating in enchanting dance moves close by Busta Rhymes. You know, the entire Busta Rhymes cooperation, like he ought to have connected with me, like you realize you don't do no video with my little girl half bare. You know, you a developed man, he ought to have contacted me and said something, yet what will be will be. You realize she's developed, she can do what she need. Yet I wasn't with that Benzino took to Instagram. Lived to communicate his disappointment, expressing that Busta Rhyme ought to have contacted him prior to highlighting his girl in such a provocative way. He underlined that, as a developed man, Buster ought to have extended more regard and thought. How about we investigate what Benzino needed to say? As a dad, Benzino felt that his little girl's contribution in the video went too far, and he clarified that he was not strong of her being depicted in a sexualized way in the video. Benzino communicated his failure, saying, "You don't do no video with my girl half bare, you a big boy." He accepted that Busta Rhyme ought to have reached him and examined the idea of the video prior to continuing with the creation. Benzino clarified that while Coi Leray is a grown-up and can pursue her own decisions, he actually has his perspectives as a dad. Benzino likewise communicated his anxiety about the effect of the web on family correspondence and securities. He accepts that the computerized age has made it's simpler for specialists to team up, disregarding the results it might have on private connections. This quarrel has lighted a warm discussion about the limits of creative demeanor and the job of parental direction in the music business. Now, Busta Rhymes was not going to let Benzo's remarks go unanswered, as he answered him in a restrictive meeting with Angela I on Influence 105's direction. "Up my thing. As a matter of some importance, is Benzino has my number. He knows how to contact me. You ain't gay ought to address me about nothing on no virtual entertainment, cuz you got my telephone number." He clarified that Benzino had his telephone number and might have effortlessly connected with him by and by, as opposed to turning to web-based entertainment. There's been a lot of various issues that we truly went through that prompted genuine viciousness with him and Dave Mama, and circumstances that unfolded that we had the option to determine common and deferentially underscored that he and Benzino had recently settled clashes in a common and conscious way without including virtual entertainment or radio in any event. When those clashes had prompted genuine brutality over their time, there had been various cases where pressures ran intense between Busta Rhymes and Ben Xino, and way they figured out how to figure out some mutual interest and resolve their disparities eye to eye. He addressed why Benzino decided to implicate himself by examining their issues on a public stage as opposed to in an immediate discussion. Yet the point that I'm attempting to make is up till presumably right now. This isn't public data I'm not expressing, it's to advance the issue I'm expressing. Its truest rules was maintained, and the way that we managed issues, we settled it as men in eye to eye all through the meeting. Buster focused on the significance of maintaining a set of principles and managing clashes eye to eye. He featured the requirement for experienced and dependable correspondence as opposed to falling back via virtual entertainment or music to address individual matters. We truly going to reside by the legitimate set of principles that we was raised on. And why you implicating yourself discussing any contention that you got with anyone on an online entertainment state or on the record, any place, converse with the individual that is the man thing and the developed man thing to do. Benzino reprimands Angie Martinez. The ROAP people group itself became separated, with fans favoring one side in the fight. A few revitalized behind 50 Penny and Busta Rhymes excusing Benzo's allegations as untruths and clout pursuing. They contended that Busta Rhymes, a regarded veteran in the business, could never take part in such wrongdoing. These fans accepted that 50 Penny was essentially protecting his companion and saw